Outrage is a business model and you're the product. Every time you open your phone, something is already waiting for you. A headline, a clip, an argument already in progress. Someone is angry, someone is offended, someone is being dragged, exposed, or condemned. And most people believe this chaos is accidental. That society has simply become more emotional, that people are more sensitive than they used to be, that the internet just brought it out of us. But outrage isn't random. It's engineered. It's refined over time. It's measured in data, and most importantly, it's profitable. This isn't a video about blaming people for reacting. It's about exposing the system that feeds those reactions on purpose. At some point, something quietly changed. Money stopped being the most valuable thing online. Attention replaced it. Every platform you use operates on the same invisible transaction. You receive entertainment, information, or connection. And in exchange, you give time. No minutes, no hours, years. Every scroll, every pause, every click, every replay, all of it is recorded. Not to understand you as a person, but to predict you as a pattern. Attention is no longer passive. It's quantified, tracked, packaged, and sold. And once attention becomes currency, the goal is no longer to inform or improve people. The goal becomes to hold them. Human beings are emotional creatures. Emotion accelerates attention. Fear spreads faster than calm. Anger lasts longer than joy. And conflict demands resolution. So when a system is built to maximize engagement, it naturally leans toward content that provokes, agitates, and divides. Calm explanations don't create urgency. Nuanced discussions don't hold people hostage. And balanced perspectives don't spike metrics. Outrage does. Because outrage activates the nervous system. It heightens awareness. It demands reaction. The algorithm doesn't ask whether something is true. It doesn't ask whether something is helpful. It only asks one question. Does this keep people watching? And over time, it learns something dangerous. Angry users are loyal users. Think about the content that dominates your feed. It's rarely measured, rarely patient, rarely complete. Instead, it's cropped, clipped, and framed to provoke immediate response. Just enough information to trigger emotion. Never enough context to resolve it, because resolution ends engagement. So the system keeps you in a state of tension, always reacting, always responding, always feeling like something needs your attention right now. Outrage isn't just encouraged, it's optimized. Here's how the loop works. You see a piece of content that irritates you, you pause, your thumb hesitates, the pause is logged. You comment, you share, you argue. The system notices. It doesn't understand your values. It doesn't interpret morality. It interprets behavior. So it sends you more of the same, not because it agrees with you, but because you reacted. Slowly, your feed becomes an emotional mirror, reflecting back whatever response you give it. The angrier you get, the narrower your exposure becomes. Different perspectives fade. Nuance disappears. Everything starts to feel extreme. Not because reality changed, but because the system optimized for reaction, not truth. Conflict didn't increase online by accident. Division is efficient. When people are polarized, they engage more. They defend harder and they listen less. They don't ask questions, they take sides. And while users argue with each other, the system stays invisible. Outrage distracts from power, from policy, and from structure. See, people fight symptoms while ignoring design. The algorithm doesn't create opinions, it amplifies fractures that already exist. Small disagreements become identity wars. Mild differences turn into moral battles. Not because it helps society, but because it keeps attention locked in. And there is a psychological cost to living inside this loop. Constant outrage rewires perception. Everything feels urgent. Everything feels personal. Everything feels threatening. People become exhausted, suspicious, and emotionally numb. Not because they're weak, not because they can't think critically, but because the human nervous system was never designed to process non-stop conflict. The system logs engagement. The human absorbs stress. Over time, burnout becomes normal. Criticism feels rational, and disconnection feels inevitable. And most people don't realize why they feel this way. They just feel it. The most uncomfortable truth is this: the system does not need you happy, it needs you engaged. Peace doesn't generate metrics, resolution ends sessions, and understanding slows scrolling. Outrage keeps the engine running. So the loudest voices rise, the most divisive content spreads, and the cycle continues. Not because no one notices, but because the system rewards it. This doesn't mean emotions are wrong or that caring is a weakness. It means the environment is engineered. And once you understand that outrage is insensitive, you stop reacting automatically. You pause. You ask why something is being shown to you. You choose what deserves your attention because attention is power, and power should never be surrendered unconsciously. Once you see the system, you can't unsee it. This is Invisible Systems Docs.